Hello guys, and today I'm bringing you a Cosmo deck. Originally I was going to do a budget Cosmo deck with a Psychic Commanders in to provide another edge in the deck for synchro summoning, but it actually slows the deck a lot, so I'd keep to just keeping it a whole Cosmo deck with the addition of like an Honest if you want to, if you need it, but you can bring out big monsters anyway, easy enough, so Honest isn't really needed that much, but if you want to put it in, it is an alright option. But yeah, anyway, actually getting onto the deck list, we've got 3 Dark Destroyers, which is the main monster in the deck. Basically, all the smaller ones, all the smaller psychic types, remove themselves to special summon the bigger types. And if the bigger monsters, like the machines, are destroyed by battle or by card effects, they'll special summon something lower, with lower level than it. Whereas the lower ones will be at higher level than the card level, if you get what I mean, with their own extra effects added in. So Dark Destroyer can be summoned by pretty much everything in the deck. Well, all of the psychics, the little psychics anyway. The machines don't get that effect. But yeah, and when it's actually normal special, it destroys a monster on the field, which is good. And it's also a 3000 attack beta, which, you know. Then we've got 3 Forerunner, which again summoned by the lower ones, but when it's destroyed at level 6 or lower by the one level lower thing that I explained a minute ago. And during the standby phase you gain 1000 life points back, which is good because if you use Cosmo Town's effect you lose life points to bring your lower, well, any of them actually back to your hand. And with Farm Girl, if you deal damage and use this effect you'll lose life points. So it's like the common psychic theme of paying life points to get their effects, which is a trade-off, but it's not a major trade-off. I got 1 Dogfighter. I was considering increasing this, but I've only got 1 in at the moment because it summons tokens. Basically, it can fill your field if you can keep it on your field, and then other than that, it's got the same effects as the other machines. But yeah, during the standby phase, you can special 1 Dogfighter token, which is the same stats as Dogfighter, but it's just a token. Then we've got 3 Slip Rider. Slip Riders, although it's quite small, it's actually really good. If it's normal or special summoned, it's most likely going to be special summoned within this deck. You can target 1 spell trap on the field and destroy it, which is good for getting over back row, which hinders this deck a lot. And I found with this deck that you don't keep a lot of back row. It's mainly just getting out big monsters really quickly and doing what you can with them. But they're easy to replenish themselves as well with the smaller ones and the bigger ones again after the smaller ones have used their effects, if you get what I mean. So yeah, Slip Rider. Then we've got 1 Good Witch, which is just an extra remove to bring out one of the machines. It's another effect I hardly use, but once per turn during your player's turn you can pay 1000 life points. This turn this card cannot be destroyed by card effect, so if you special summon it using one of the after the destruction of one of the machines, then you can pay that 1000 life points and keep that on the field for next turn, then remove it from play and bring out a bigger one. We've got 1 Good Witch, and same again, banish it, and then you can summon a level 5 or higher Cosmo monster. Then its secondary effect, you can pay 500 life points and target 1 face that monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense position, which is good for monsters having high attack and low defense. If you switch them to face down defense position and then attack them with one of your bigger monsters, then you're more likely to destroy them. Next monster, we've got 2 Cosmo Farm Girl. This was the first major, well, it was the only lower Cosmo card originally, and it was really expensive when I first tried to build this deck, but it's now fortunately come down a lot in price. You can run 2 to 3 of this, depending on your preference really, because at 3 I'd recommend running at least 1 infected male, because then you can use its effect, but that again is taking up a space for another card that could make this deck quicker, so it all depends on what you want to run yourself. But yeah, anyway, Cosmo Farm Girl again, remove itself, especially when 1 level 4 or higher Cosmo monster. And when this card inflicts part damage to your opponent, you can pay 500 life points and add 1 Cosmo card from your deck to your hand. So if you've obviously used another lower Cosmo monster, especially from the bigger one, and you've got Farm Girl there, then destroy the monster with the bigger one you've got, then attack directly with Farm Girl, add one of the machines to your hand, then remove Farm Girl to special summon it. But you don't even need that if you haven't got any of the big monsters in your hand. You've had a bad draw and you haven't got a Cosmo Town or whatnot. But yeah, next monster's 3 Saw Troopers. You can take this down to 2 or 1. It's just I like the effect, but they're less likely to be in graveyards, so you can alter this by put another straw man in, or yeah, there's a few alterations might make to this deck, and I'll give you an updated video in a couple of weeks. I've actually built this deck in real life, so I've just got to play test it and then tell you more on it. But yeah, with Sword Troopers, same again, level 4 or higher. It can special summon by removing itself. Then once per turn you can pay 1,000 life points. Then target 1 psychic type Cosmo monster and you go out special summon it. Because Sword Troopers doesn't negate its effect, then you get another free banish, basically. Well, not free, you lose 1,000 life points. But if you've already got 4 on your field, you just gain 1,000 back or whatnot. Then I got 2 Strawman, which is a brilliant effect, but at 2 it's enough, where it can remove itself, especially when they're level 3 or higher Cosmo monster. But also, once per turn you can pay 500 life points and target 1 of your banished Cosmo monsters, special summon it, but its effects are negated, also destroyed during the end phase. So if you use this to bring out one of the bigger ones, and then it's destroyed by a card effect, the big one's destroyed by Strawman's card effect, and it can use its own effect, so remove itself from play, special summon something lower from the deck. Because its effect activates in the grave and not on the field, it's not negated, which is good for pairing them two. Then lastly we've got 3 Tin Can, but I might take this down to 2, I'm not sure yet. But during your play, you can banish this card special 1 level 2 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Cosmo Tin Can once per turn. And then during the end phase you can pay 500 life points to reveal 3 Cosmo cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand and then send the rest to the graveyard, which is good for searching stuff, but at 3 it might be a bit cloggy. Again, I've got to play test it with the 3 and then I'll let you know in a couple of weeks, month maybe. Depends when I get the next video out, because there's a few other deck lists that I'd like to give you. Then we've got 1 Rejeki. I understand that it's gone a lot up in price, unfortunately, so you might, if you actually don't have enough money to buy this deck straight off or accumulate it through trading, then maybe you might want to take Rejeki out, would be a good choice. I understand it's at least over 10 quid, the higher rarity ones anyway. But then we've got 2 Dark Holes, which it's gone lowered in goodness, I guess, with the Rejeki coming back out from being banned. But Dark Hole, if you destroy your bigger monsters, it doesn't say your opponent's card effects, so you can get your bigger monsters' effects. So if you destroy the whole field, you get replacements anyway for the monsters you've got. Granted, they're lower attack, lower leveled, but you still set up a field that you can attack directly with, or then remove again, or whatever. So it's kind of like, you know, it's not, you're not really losing field advantage. Then we got Terraform, which is like having a 4th field spell. I might put in another Terraform because there's quite a lot of times I haven't drawn Cosmo Town. It does slow the deck down a lot, unfortunately, but I'll have to test again and see that. Got 3 MST to just get rid of back row, because being as it's like a shell of high level monsters, high attacking monsters, back row might be a bit of a problem for you. So these can get a few as well as Slip Rider, so it's like having 6 MSTs. Well, more than 6, because you might bring out Cosmo Slip Rider more than 3 times out in the door, depending on what you draw and how you play it. Then we've got 1 Buckamoon. I understand that it's gone down in its goodness, but if they've got a high attacking monster but low defense, again you can buck it and then destroy it with one of your monsters, easy enough. Got 2 E-Telly just in case you don't draw one of the smaller psychic type monsters and you got all big monsters in your hand. And you can E-Telly one of them out and then obviously use their effect to bring out one of the big monsters in your hand. We've got 3 Cosmotown, which is the field spell of the deck, which is the running, really. If you don't have this, the deck majorly slows down, but with this, once per turn you can target one of your banished Cosmo monsters to return it to the hand, and if you do, lose life points equal to its original level times 100. Unfortunately, like with all psychic kind of cards, you have to pay a cost. Once per turn you can reveal any number of Cosmo monsters in your hand and shuffle them into your deck, then draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffled into the deck, which is good if you've just drawn a lot of the big monsters or a lot of the small monsters and not a mix of either, and you really can't do anything. Then if this card on the field zone is destroyed by a card effect, you can add 1 Cosmo card from your deck to your hand. So if they MST it, you just add another Cosmo Town to your hand, easy enough. But I don't think anyone would MST it anymore after realising what the effect is. Then on to the traps, we've got 4 just standard traps, so Bottomless, Mirror Force, Compulsory, Solemn Warning. I'll put in 1 Cosmojo. I might put in 2. I'm not sure yet, but target 1 Cosmo monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, banish 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. You can activate 1 Cosmojo per turn. So if they bring out something pesky, then you just remove it. And also, if you destroy one of the bigger Cosmo monsters, you get a replacement anyway. So if you destroy Dark Destroyer to remove one of theirs, then you can summon Slip Rider out, which can destroy a Spiral Trap card of theirs as well. So, you know, food for thought, whatever you want to do with that. But that's just an example of what you can do. But anyway, thank you for watching this Cosmo deck list, my updated deck. I'm not sure if I posted one before, but this might be the first or second variant of the deck because they brought out the new cards. And I should be giving you an updated deck list in a few weeks after I've playtested it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Extra deck isn't a major thing in this, but you can put in like level 3 XYZs, what you want to put in, or level 4s. I'd suggest putting a few of them maybe in. You shouldn't be delving into the extra deck too much, but if you want to, you can. Because if they're sent as an XYZ material, they don't get their effects, the bigger ones, from being destroyed by a card effect, because they're not technically destroyed by a card effect, they're sent. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching again, and hope to see you next time, guys. Bye.